Alrighty, Duelist Kingdom action. We have got Taya taking on the Paradox Brothers, who the Paradox Brothers in recent time have got back to their winning ways. These two did play in the Duelist Kingdom pre-season cup as well, which Taya did get the win, and I believe that was in the semi-final match. Still, that was a good while ago now. So both decks, they're fairly even. Taya has the ability to get some strong monsters out. The Paradox Brothers have the ability to summon strong monsters, such as Suijin, Kazajin, etc. So Taya, it started off with Lunar Queen Elzane, Happy Lover, Dark Elf, which isn't too bad, Magician of Faith, and Orion the Battle King. Dark Elf does require 1,000 points to attack, so it is costly, but it is strong at 2,000 attack for only 4 stars. As we see Minamushi Warrior, one of my favourite monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, come to the field and destroy Lunar Queen Elzane. Yeah, under 1,300, a warrior and a rock monster fused together would make Minamushi Warrior. It was one of my most used early on. Dark Elf comes to the field, and that's going to get rid of Minamushi Warrior. So only one turn for the Rock Warrior. He's like a warrior with just rock armor instead of steel armor. You think rock would be much heavier. Anyway, we are at Paradox Brothers' turn. Dark Elf on the field, and oh, Soul Exchange, good card. So Dark Elf possibly being tributed here, and it is. And oh, it's a face down. Interesting. Possibly a Labyrinth Wall if it's a face down defense. That is a 3,000 defense if it is Labyrinth Wall. There goes Fairy Witch, which is only 1,000 in defense. Paradox Brothers now draw another card. And another face down defense. Alright, and end phase. So Taya does have the option to get Orion the Battle King to the field here. There's Chorus of Sanctuary, which Taya activates maybe... Well, I guess for her to get over a 3,000 defense, she's probably going to need Dark Hole or Fissure anyway. And Chorus of Sanctuary will up her defense as well. Remember, Chorus of Sanctuary will do all defense monsters on the field. As Stone Armadillo, which got to 1,700. It may not have been the best move in the world to play Chorus of Sanctuary, but we'll see. We'll soon see. So if Orion the Battle King goes to defense mode, it will become 2,000 defense. So there is a benefit for Taya as well, with Chorus of Sanctuary being on the field. If that is a Labyrinth Wall though, which it is, and it's just been flipped face up in attack, and oh, Magical Labyrinth, okay. So we're going to see Wall Shadow. Is this the first time we've actually seen Wall Shadow out of Paradox Brothers? I think it might be. If one of the first, at least. We haven't seen it very often. It's pretty much the same, it's just 1,600 attack. Instead, it will be 3,500 defense with Chorus of Sanctuary. So Taya does have a few options to get that off the field in her deck. There's Hourglass of Courage. So, not going with Hourglass of Courage, just going with another face-down defense. Orion the Battle King also put to defense mode. So there you go, 2,000 defense. So Taya does have a bit of a defensive stronghold herself, but she's not getting over a 3,500 anytime soon. Not through usual means of attacking. Right, there's the Dark Witch. It's another 1,800. And Taya goes for it. So she's going to tribute Hourglass of Life. So Taya does have Fissure, she does have Dark Hole. She does have a few equipped cards, but she would have to draw just about all of them to get over 3,000 alone, let alone 3,500. Chorus of Sanctuary is coming back a little bit to haunt Taya right now. That Stone Ogre Grotto got to 1,900, usually it's just a 1,400. Sorry, Rock Ogre Grotto, not Stone Ogre Grotto. There's Monster Tamer, that's an 1,800, that equals Dark Witch. And Paradox Brothers not even thinking about it, going straight after Dark Witch, getting Monster Tamer and Dark Witch both off the field. So life point count is even, however, 3,500 defense. There's Ferry of the Spring, that will get an equip card back. No equip cards played yet from Taya though. So she does go with another defense. Still got Hourglass of Courage, that will double, but it has to be flipped up. And when it's flipped up, it will halve. So, or if it's summoned as well, it will also halve. It will double on the next turn, so you got to get through a whole turn with it being on the field. Down goes 7 Tools of the Bandit. And alright, Hourglass of Courage is played. Taya though doesn't really have any options. She's not getting anywhere past that 3,500 defense. We see another face down from Paradox Brothers, and you don't want them having two monsters on the field, let alone 3. Sangha, Kazajin and Suijin all live in his deck. As Taya has drawn D-Spell, so she could get rid of Chorus of Sanctuary if she wanted to. As we see a face down from Paradox Brothers, and Tribute, so this is going to be one of them by the look of it, and it is Suijin. And very tough here for Taya to get through this. She will need to draw a Dark Hole, and with a large deck, very unlikely as well. Alright, there's Tenderness. It's 1,400 defense, would get to 1,900, but it's going to be very tough for Taya to defend. Taya's really her only option here is defend. She doesn't have anything else. There's Destroy a Golem. And, oh, Wall Shadow move to attack as well, so Paradox Brothers going with an all-out offensive here. Hourglass of Courage is flipped up and destroyed. It was a good target from there from Suijin. Tenderness, that will survive an attack. And the last one is Happy Lover, which will not. So Taya running out of defenses here, and it looks like this one may be over within a few turns, unless Taya draws a trump card of some sort. There's Malevolent Nuzzler. That's not a bad card, but it would have been useful earlier on when she had Dark Witch and Orion the Battle King down. Oh, with all that being said, how is everyone? Hopefully everyone is doing well wherever you are in the world. I know there's people from the US who tune in, and some from Australia as well, some from the UK as well. I had a guy from Germany as well. A few different countries tuning in. I've had a few comments come through in the past that have been in Japanese as well, so good to have all people from all around the world tuning in. There's Shadow Ghoul. Speaking of Shadow Ghoul, I have had an idea for doing a series with Rebecca. As we see Magician of Faith, I don't think Taya really has any spell cards in her graveyard to begin with. I was thinking me and the guys were going to pre-record all of Mokuba's matches, and I won't know the result. They'll record them while I'm away, so we can do the rest of his matches for Duelist Kingdom and just sort of like go through, and as a Mokuba match comes up, I'll still commentate over it, but I won't know the result. So if we get through all of Mokuba's matches pre-recorded, then I can delete his deck and I can create one for Rebecca, and then we can have like, can Rebecca defeat Duelist Kingdom? So I think we might do that, and I might hopefully start that next week, because I'm actually quite keen to see a Rebecca deck which basically uses Shadow Ghoul as the main strategy, and see if it could go through the entire Duelist Kingdom. So could Rebecca actually win the Duelist Kingdom title and take on Yugi right at the end? As we see, Taya does lose the first match, so let's set them up again. Best of 3, Paradox Brothers perspective this time. And after Mokuba's done, I might even do the same again with Tristan's Duelist Kingdom deck as well, and do the same thing, the same idea for Rebecca, but do it with Duke Devlin and use some of the cards he used He only had that. He had 2 duels, but for a Duelist Kingdom one, I would probably use the match he had with Joey, and then go with his Dungeon Dice monsters, and pull all the monsters from that. So Orgoth the Relentless. I know Yugi played Strike Ninja, but I'll probably put Strike Ninja in Duke Devlin's deck. So use the monsters from that Dungeon Dice Monsters game as a Duke Devlin deck and see how that performs. As Paradox Brothers have drawn a very interesting hand, 2 different trap holes. There's Wasteland. He's got Guardian of the Labyrinth, and he's also got Jirai Gumo. Jirai Gumo is a 2200 and only 4 stars. However, it is a very risky card to play. If you get the coin toss wrong, you'll lose half your life points, and it looks like the Paradox Brothers might be going for it. And they are. Okay, so they got to get the coin toss right, otherwise they're going to lose 4,000 points. They call a tail. Oh, and it fails. 4,000 points. That is a massive loss of life points. Taya does take a 2200 hit, and Jirai Gumo 2200 on the field is still quite strong. And Soul of the Pura. Increase your life points by 800. Alright, Taya, any monsters to summon? No, straight to the end phase. Well, okay. And oh, there's Dark Hole. That's another great card for Paradox Brothers, who have just played Guardian of the Labyrinth. Oh yes, before I forget, 2 fusions in Paradox Brothers deck now. Yes, I did add Labyrinth Tank, and I put in Visago the Destroyer after it was a comment from... who was the comment from? Oh, another Tails. They failed it again. They're down to 2,000 life points. The Paradox Brothers have done 6,000 life points of damage to themselves just from Jirai Gumo, which is quite extraordinary. Taya has not even launched an attack and is still... Oh, she's just played Dark Hole. Taya has not even launched an attack, and the Paradox Brothers have lost 6,000 life points. And Luna Queen Elzame was played, and that will avoid both trap holes because it's only 750 attack. I'm searching for this comment. I'm going to try and find who it was that commented it. It'll filter through quite a few. As we see... Oh, Paradox Brothers went for Dark Hole. Taya has just flipped up Magic Jammer. That Dark Hole may have... Oh, the thing is, the Paradox Brothers have got nothing in their hand to play. And there we see Silver Bow and Arrow. Sorry, I am searching for this comment, and oh, there it is. Rare Hunter Gaming 8689. That was the comment. You can use Labyrinth Tank. Use a fusion material monster like Versago the Destroyer or King of the Swamp. It did not even occur to me that that is how I could use Labyrinth Tank. The thing with Labyrinth Tank is its fusion materials is Gigatech Wolf, which isn't a problem, but it's Cannon Soldier. Cannon Soldier's banned. But yes, I added Versago the Destroyer, as I thought that was the one that best suited his deck. I took out Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress 1 and 2 out of the Paradox Brothers deck, because even though they had Guardian and Fortress in their name, which I kind of put a few of those named cards in his deck, they didn't really fit because they were flying monsters, and you know, monsters can't fly in the Labyrinth, so I got rid of them. I put in Gigatech Wolf, and I put in Versago the Destroyer, and added in Labyrinth Tank. So we may be lucky enough to see a Labyrinth Tank at some stage. So yes, these are the first seasons of Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, and as I go through them, and people do recommend some things as well, I do get ideas to slightly alter the decks, which I will make during the seasons. By the end of the first seasons for Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, all the decks hopefully would be just about perfect. As I do plan to do a season of each arc, maybe once a year or so. do a season per year. That'd be nice. There's Wasteland straight off the bat from Paradox Brothers, who lost the last match, more self-inflicted more than anything with the effect of Yugioh. And Taya has drawn an absolutely beautiful hand. Black Pendant's a 500 point increase. She's got Dark Elf, she's got Maiden of the Moonlight, and a Monster Reborn. And there we see Dark Elf is summoned. It's a 2000 attack. And is she going to add Black Pendant to it as well? No, okay. She's decided to hold Black Pendant just for the moment. 1000 points of damage, and Rock Ogre Grotto 2 is destroyed. Still, Dark Elf, good card at 2000 attack. Only 4 stars as well. So it's winner take all. Yeah, oh, there's Dark Hole from Paradox Brothers. So Taya undefended now, and Dissolve Rock comes to the field. It'll get to 1100. Taya does have Maiden of the Moonlight though, and she does have a Monster Reborn. So she's got plenty of counterplay. Paradox Brothers may have needed a bit of a stronger monster in that. Oh, and there's Elf's Light as well. So Elf's Light, Black Pendant, Maiden of the Moonlight as well. That isn't... Is Elf's... Oh no, Elf's Light's just a light monster in general, not particularly a fairy, because Maiden of the Moonlight's actually a spellcaster. There's Monster Reborn. Dark Elf is going to make a comeback. It does cost Taya 1000 points to attack with it, but it'll do 2000 to the Paradox Brothers. And Elf's Light is also played as well, so Maiden of the Moonlight gets to 2400. So what's the loss here for Paradox Brothers? There's 1000 off Taya. 900 and 2400, so what, that'll be 3300. So 5700 is what Paradox, sorry, 4700 is what they've had. So 4700 plays 4900. Life points are pretty even, but in terms of field, Taya is miles ahead. And face down defense from Paradox Brothers, only 2 cards in hand, and it's gone straight to the end phase. Well, Paradox Brothers may be regretting now throwing Yugioh down on the field straight at the right at the start. Maybe wasn't the best idea. There's Destroyer Golem, which 1700 wasn't too bad, but Taya is going to win this on the next turn unless the Paradox Brothers can pull off some counterplay. Only 2 cards in hand. We're going to assume that they can't help him. So he draws one last card, and does he have anything at all? Goes with a face down spell or trap and nothing. They could be high level monsters, they could be a Gate Guardian, they could be a Surgeon, they could be any one of those sorts of monsters, high levels. And this will do it. 2400, can he block? He cannot, and we'll get to call out, what was it? Gate Guardian and Dungeon Worm. So 2 high-level monsters that Paradox Brothers couldn't lay down. So Taya picks up the win in that second match. Ooh, I tell you what, that'll be a regret now for the Paradox Brothers. Let's pull up the tournament brackets. So in a somewhat fiery match, Taya has defeated the Paradox Brothers. Pegasus and Keith have already played. It will be Kyber going up against Bones, and I don't like Bones' chances in that somehow. Let's flip over to Battle City. And in Battle City, we've got Odeon taking on Esperoba. And Odeon has had some very good matches in the past, so hopefully we get another one out of him on this match as well. So, yeah, that's what's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and let's get some production as well as that Battle City match coming up, maybe about half hour after this one. I released them at midnight, Western Australian time. Thanks everyone for tuning in, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, take care, farewell.